as play therapists, sometimes we find ourselves a little bit lost, maybe even confused about what's happening in the play, where the child is headed in the play, is any progress being made in the play? And so I'm on how to keep yourself from getting lost so that you can know what's going on and be able to translate what's going on to parents, which is such an important part of the play therapy experience. So the first thing is it's really important to set goals. And I know sometimes as play therapists, we don't like the goal setting. We don't like some of those more logical, more traditionally left brain type of processes, but it's actually really important so that we can continue to conceptualize the experience that we're having in the playroom. So at the very beginning, taking the time to set goals, goals that are age appropriate, goals that are realistic, goals that are measurable. Because without them, you're not going to know what to track. You're not going to know what then to be able to have a conversation with the parent about. So the goals really serve 2 points. One is to help you be able to track the process and the empowerment, but it's also really a guideline so that you can communicate back to the parents in a way that's meaningful for the parents and help the parents understand the value of the service that they have just invested their time and energy into, and helping them also be able to track and make sense of what's happening in the play therapy journey. So that's the first one. Take time to set the goals. The second one is a little bit of an extension of what I just said, which is that once we have the goals, now that we're having this experience in the playroom, well, now it's our opportunity and our job to now link whatever's happening in the play back to the goals as we're able to talk to the parents and caregivers, again, to help them track and understand the progress that's being made. Now, another thing that we can do is to track the overall process. So in synergetic play therapy, it's not that we are just looking at each session in isolation, we're looking at the whole process. So finding a way in whatever modality you have been trained in, how does your modality look at the whole experience? In every experience, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And then there's often a lot of other stuff that happens in the middle of that too. But finding a way to really track that so that you know, where are we in this journey? Are we working at the beginning of this process? Are we in the empowerment part of this process? Have we just started a new process? But finding a way to look at that larger picture is absolutely key. Also, using things like tools and handouts to be able to communicate to parents. So it's not just us that needs to be able to track the larger process so that we don't get lost, but also the parents need to be able to see the larger process so that they don't feel lost. So maybe you are using diagrams or you have handouts that are explaining the process, that are explaining maybe the stages of the process that your child is going to be going through, their child's going to be going through. But finding a way to use things like handouts, tools that can create a little bit more of a more logical explanation and understanding for parents is really helpful to help them with their sense of, what are we doing? I don't know where we're at in the process. Where are we on this journey? So goals and that larger process, super important to track. The last thing to help you so that you don't feel lost is that you may not know, but right away in the play therapy process, you can actually already begin to start to get a sense of what transformation is going to look like. And I think it's really important to begin to track that at the very beginning. So for example, when your play therapy client starts and you begin in the play, there are themes, right? There are themes, there are challenges that your client is working on. Being able to take the time and to get clear about what those are, and also get curious about, and what would be the transformation of that? What would that look like in resolution? And up front, to already tell your brain, this is what that is going to look like so that you can look for it as the play progresses. The beauty of tracking that is that not only does it help you see that you're meeting the goals, helps you able to see where you are in that larger picture, overall picture that I was talking about, but it also helps you have more certainty that progress is being made. You also get to celebrate the successes along the way and the joys of watching the child transform. And all of these little tips, they add up, and they add up to give you a sense of, I know where I am. I know where we are in the therapeutic relationship. I know where the child is in terms of the goals and the progress they're making. And I know ultimately how I can communicate that with parents because I'm not lost. So next time that you find yourself feeling lost, take a moment, pause, maybe back up just a little bit, go into your case notes, look at your case notes, and ask yourself things like, do I have the goals down? Am I tracking? Am I communicating in a way to the parents where this logically makes sense? Do I need to create some handouts to create a little bit more order and organization? And do I even know what transformation is going to look like? Take time, thoughtfully think about that, use those ideas to help you get your footing so that you're feeling a little less lost in the process, and you can take a deep breath and trust and know that you're doing amazing things with your child client.